Hi friends, welcome back to your channel. Sales is always fun. Do you agree with me? Today, the product and services offered by different companies, the differentiation is dimming by the day. So because of which, we, the sales professionals, have become the differentiator with the customer. Do you agree with me? Customers buy from the person whom they trust and like. And to be liked, one of the best ways is to build rapport with the customer. Do you agree with me that we make decisions based on how we feel at that moment and how to make your customers feel good and make decisions in favor of you? Again, for that, you need rapport building. Now, what is this rapport building? Rapport building is actually a communication where people are in sync. They may not agree on every point, but they make sure that they are willing and they get into the other person's point of view. They take his point of view very deeply to see where they can match up things. So when there is rapport, there is harmony, full responsiveness, and there is commonality happening. Now the question is, how do I build this rapport? And before we get into that, don't you think that every call you have with your customer, you should have a good rapport? In fact, it's not only just for sales professionals, for people in coaching, for people in consultancy, and any industry between doctor and a client, in all our interactions, maybe with a colleague, with our friends, with our family members, we need to have a rapport built in. And every sales call, definitely it's a yes that we need to have a rapport built in. Now, before we get into what rapport building is and how it is done, we will see some of the principles based on which it works. The first principle rapport building works is all of us have a feeling. Whether it's the UN General Secretary or the US President or anybody, we all have this feeling in us. Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I valued? This is there in all of us. And if you can tick this in your customer's box, you are there doing the rapport. The next important principle on which rapport building works is that we like people who are like us. In fact, in physics we learned opposites attract. But in life, it is like likes like, which means we like people who are like us and somebody whom we adore or want to be. So we like people that way also. Now let me put it like this: suppose you want to be like a Tom Cruise. So the moment you see somebody who looks like Tom Cruise, you take a liking for the person. And similarly, we like people who are like ourselves. Now let me give you a simple example. You will see you are from town A and you are in town B. When you are in town B, you meet somebody from town A, you start liking the person. Similarly, you have seen people who smoke cigarette. You will see them together, going out, coming back in. Similarly, the sports people will be together. The cinema goers will be together, planning out. So in life, it is like this. We like people who like us, or whom we want to be. The other principle on which it works is that, let me ask you a simple question. Have you cried in a cinema theatre? Or have you seen people crying while watching a movie or a TV show? People crying, getting angry. Why? You know it's just a cinema, just a TV serial. Then why? Have you thought about it? Let me ask you another question. Have you experienced this? You are traveling from your home, maybe to your office, school, or some destination. You may be walking, you may be on your bicycle, motorbike, car. As you are traveling, suddenly your mind goes off in some tangent thinking of something else. Either how to handle your boss or how to handle your customer, and your mind should be working on that. And halfway through the thought, you suddenly realize that you have reached a destination. What has happened? How did that magic happen? Well, in both the cases, it's a subconscious mind which has played a game. And this subconscious mind is very, very powerful. Let me ask you another question. Has it happened to you? You met somebody and you just liked them for no rhyme or reason. You don't know why you like the person. Why has that happened? It's because the person has influenced your subconscious mind without you knowing. Now, this is exactly how rapport building also happens. We need to go impress on the subconscious mind. As human beings, we love to have rapport building because we have the mirror neurons which are very effective and which is active always. Now, let me give you a simple case. Recently, we had the World Cup cricket match. The whole stadium was clapping. You would have realized after a few seconds, the whole stadium was clapping in sync. Everybody was clapping together. It's not that one group was clapping one way, one group was clapping another way. It all happened in a sync. That's the rapport. That's how the mind works. The mirror neurons have made it possible. The next principle on which it works is communication. Well, we are all communicating all the time. Right now you're looking at me, you probably have some image about me formed in your mind. And that's how it happens always. And Albert had given a very interesting theory where he says communication is 55% physiology of the body, 38% is the tone of the voice, and 7% is the word. To build a strong rapport, what we need is a good first impression. Now, how is that built? Now, we work on the principle of that though we create first impression is actually created within 7 seconds of you seeing the person. So within the first 7 seconds, you need to have built the good first impression. Now let's look at the whole principle of communication, how it works. You are walking to your customer place. The moment customer sees you from a distance, you know what sense to him? The way you look, your body build up, your dress, your hairs, how well it is kept. And as you walk closer to him, your face sells, your boots talks. He forms an impression based on all this. And the moment you walk close to him with a smile, when you give a shake hand, the moment you say hello, by then he has formed the first impression about you. The first impression is already formed. So, like it or not, style initially matters more than substance. That's the reality of life. The old saying says, never read a book by its cover. Doesn't work. To build a good rapport, we need to ensure that we create a good first impression. So just as you meet the customer, ensure that you look into his eyes, don't stare, look into his eyes with a nice smile, extend your arms for a hello. And when you shake hand with him, ensure you shake hand the same way as the customer does. You don't force that shake hand. The way he shakes hand with you, he catches your palm tight, you catch it tight. He shakes it brisk, you also shake brisk. He does it slow, you also do it slow. Because the commonality sets in there. So once after shaking hand, look into his eyes, continue the smile and give some compliment. Because the moment you give compliment, you are ticking the box. It's us. Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I valuable? So that box of the customer gets ticked. Smile is a very important thing in rapport building. Now you look at a 6 months old child and smile with your head slightly tipped. Look at how beautifully it responds back to you with a smile. All of us like when somebody smiles at us and we respond back with it positively. So smiling is very important. The next important thing in rapport building is how well you listen to the customer. That's very important because like Stephen Covey says, understand to be understood. So you've got to listen to your customer very carefully. Ideally, lean a little forward, probably bend your head a bit. And when the customer speaks, don't ever interrupt. Just listen calm what he says. Once in a way you give a nod, say aha, just to confirm that you are still listening to them carefully. If possible, it will be a good idea if you can take notes. Taking notes is very important with the customer's permission, because generally what happens is at the end of a discussion in half an hour we tend to forget most of the points, we remember only 2 or 3. That's what research says. So try to take notes, and that will give the customer the impression that you are very serious. So the moment you start taking notes, the customer realizes, yes, here is somebody who is serious about what I am saying, and you have ticked his feeling. Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I valuable? That's tick, and the rapport building process starts there. Also, when you shake hands, we need to be very careful. No customer likes us coming into his personal space. So what is this personal space? Especially in Indian context. If you are shaking hands with a person of the same sex, this distance is sufficient. Just arm length. Actually is much closer to you. But if it is the opposite sex, ensure you give your full arm so that the distance is maintained. And the moment the distance is maintained, we are very comfortable. I'm sure you would have all experienced it. If somebody comes very close to you, you will not be comfortable talking to the person. You will either step back or try to make sure the person moves away, or you do a body block. So the space is very important, because these are things that plays the subconscious mind of the customer. Now, we are seeing Albert's theory, which says that communication is 55% physiology, which is the body, 38% is your voice, tone, and 7% is the words. Even in rapport building, as I said earlier, it's a communication where two people are in sync. They are in total harmony, there is commonality, and there is total responsiveness. So when it comes to rapport building, again the same 3 parts plays: physiology, the voice, and the words. So let's slowly start getting into each of these 3 segments, how we can capitalize on them to build the rapport. So we end this episode here. See you in the next episode. If you need to be intimated when the next episode is up, please press the subscription and the bell button so that you will get the intimation. Thank you. Happy selling. Bye.